As a small business owner, how do you deal with burnout?
Okay, so when it comes to burnout, first you have to understand like what burnout is, right? Because you can't target something that's affecting your business without actually knowing what it is. What is burnout? Burnout is when you kind of lose vision of your where you're going in business, right? Because the reason you stop doing something is either because you're tired, but really that can't be an issue because you're tired throughout all your business, right? You're going to be working hard every single day. You're going to get tired, right? Regardless. So tired usually isn't the excuse. It's something to do with losing vision of why you're doing it, right? When you constantly have a vision of why you're doing something, you're never going to burn out. It's impossible because you can always go back to that vision and that vision doesn't change. But if you're relying on short-term goals like, money, success, likes, comments, shares, analytics, all those types of things, those things change, those things run out, and those things aren't consistent statistics that you can rely on that will get you out of bed, right? Which is why we talk about passion so much rather than motivation. Because when you have a passion for your business, when you know that what you're doing is going to be helping hundreds of people one day, and that you are providing value in a place where there hasn't been value before, you're going to be more keen on going through it with it, right? But burnout happens when you lose sight of all those things and you have nothing driving you to wake up, nothing driving you to get out of bed, nothing driving you to open your shop today. So many things that usually would drive you, like the money, the customers, the passion, all these types of things, they just disappear one day, right? And you wake up and you're like, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore, right? And it happens to the best of us. And that's why there's such things such as writer block, right? People forget how to write. Like some of the best writers in the world, they struggle with writing because they run into writer's block, right? And what is the best way to kind of change this rhythm of constant burnout? Who I personally deal with burnout a lot, but I deal with it around the same time every single year. It's not something new. Like I always expect it to come. I think the number change, right? If you're working at a certain rate consistently throughout the year and you find yourself burning out during that some certain part of the year, making changes before you reach that point will help a lot. And it's also very important to be aware of when you're burning out, because it's when that time is when you need the most type of self-care, right? Usually when people are burning out, what they do is they think, fuck, I'm not working at my usual rate. I'm
Yeah.
not working at the usual way I should be. I'm going to push myself even harder, right? And you're delaying your burnout effects. Now, there's no one definition of burnout, right? Regardless, what you look up on Google, everyone deals and has burnout in a different way. Sometimes it can be, simply one day, right? One day you just can't do any work. You can't be fucked today. Other people, it will go weeks. Other people, it will go months, right? But I do believe regardless of what type of burnout you're going to, there's ways to fix it. And I think the number one thing is prevention. And the second thing is rectification. When you rectify that you are actually burning out, you're able to give yourself more self-care, more understanding. It's the self-talk that usually leads to stronger burnouts, right? Like, fuck, you're useless today. Fuck, you're doing nothing today. Fuck, you're this. Like, you're constantly giving it to yourself when your body's not even ready for that level of work and you haven't identified it. So 90% of the time burnouts last longer than normal is because you haven't recognized it, right? And then the way to target it is to understand what the underlying factors are, right? When you have an inconsistent, unstable life, inconsistent sleep schedule, inconsistent food pattern, all these inconsistencies, none like most of the time that will lead into your business. It will lead into inconsistencies between you and your customers, you and showing up on social media, you and multiple things, right? But when you have a consistent lifestyle, consistent sleep schedule, all these types of things, you're going to be creating habits and routines that are going to pour over into your business. Just like the bad things pour over into your business, the good things pour over as well, right? It goes both ways. So the number one thing is to look at the underlying factors. Why are you starting to burn out at this time of the year rather than the start of the year? What was different in your life at the start of the year versus now? And once you figure that out, you just make change. And there's no real fix to burnout. You can't just stop burning out. Everyone will burn out eventually, right? It happens. But the key is how many times are you going to burn out before you start to learn what's making you burn out and how to treat yourself during that burnout, right? Like maybe that just means taking a day off. Maybe that means, being like showing self-love to yourself, all these types of things. And if you're able to understand prevention, rectification, and then identification, all these three things, you'll be able to prevent burnout and you can go through it better. Thank you so much.